incisive investigative journalism there.
I like the fact that you've learned a lot from Parkinson, even stealing some of his questions, like, are you on crack? Which I know he always asks his guests.
Yeah. I like the fact that when she went, I don't know, I have the occasion when my ears, well, that's alright for you. Good for your art. That was great.
It was brilliant.
That is the best interview technique I've ever heard anywhere.
I feel like there's still some questions unanswered.
Yeah, it hasn't proved it to me, I'll be honest, Carl. It hasn't proved me the existence of ghosts
I have to
and
say, Rick, that
poltergeists.
I was worried as soon as she got involved with the Ouija board. I was thinking, please do not get involved with that Ouija board.
Yeah. I was worried when I heard some giggling coming from the other stable.
Yeah.
Don't go over there. Don't go over there.
It's, what questions did she ask the Ouija board? You didn't ask her that, I noticed.
She didn't want to.
She didn't want to say?
No.
Okay.
Do you think it was something like why that you did to try and confuse the computer, and the spirit world got really annoyed, and they got confused, and they came back and started messing up her clothes?
But what do you think then?
What do you mean? What do you mean, what do I think?
What do you think?
What about what? There's nothing I can answer there. There's nothing I can answer.
Alright, she said...
Well, I'll just keep saying I don't believe in the existence of ghosts. Because of the impossibility.
Right. Now, when she said... I mean, the interview I did for 50 minutes.
You did for how long?
50 minutes.
55 minutes?
Yeah, we might use that at Christmas or something, right? But the thing is...
Well, that's the best you got out of 50 minutes.
They're
the highlights.
No, I'll be honest.
MTV are not going to call again.
I'll tell you what, right? It did get a bit dark, and I didn't want that sort of stuff going out,
right? Afternoon, yeah.
But I can understand the heating thing. I said, well, you know, in the full interview, I was saying, you know, that could be anything, couldn't it? Heating broke or something. Now, she said what else was she talking about?
Someone got into the bed next to her.
Yeah, I mean, I sort of said, well, you know, how did that happen?
Yeah.
And she couldn't explain it herself, but I said, but it did wake you up. Maybe you're a little bit sort of, still
although the only explanation I can think of, if she didn't actually see anyone, is well, it was a ghost.
Yeah, well, that
She's probably got a ghost getting in
But
bed.
what about cupboards opening and shutting?
See, again, the only explanation for that is a ghost.
Yeah. Well, I can't think of anything else.
Play a record. It's got to be a ghost.
It is ghost. I think you've proven it to us.
Yeah. A spirit.
Yeah. Street spirit?
Yeah.
Nice.
Street spirit. Radiohead. So, turns out ghosts do exist after all, Steve.
A woman what Carl knows proved it.
I've got egg on my face.
Yep.
On XFM,
Instantly, Rick, I should just encourage you and everyone else listening.
I really have got egg on my face, is that what you're going to say? Yeah, I've just been eating an omelette.
James Randi, a hero of yours and a hero of mine, he's on TV this week on Horizon, I think it's maybe Thursday, check press for details, trying to expose the nonsense that is homeopathy.
Oh yeah, I saw that, yeah.
So, I look forward to that.
Do you know what that is, Carl?
No, go on.
They've got a theory that if you say you got something an essential oil or something in a solution, 1 in 10 solution, and it does something to you, actually does something to you, they've got this thing where they dilute it to there's nothing in it, but because they're using the same water, and the water still has the same effect. It's sort of like a placebo that you know works. You know, that's the sort of theory of it.
What time's that on?
I checked the papers, but I think it's sort of 9 o'clock Thursday, something like that. It'll be interesting though, Carl. It will be interesting, mate. Trust me. I'll tell you what's also interesting, Rick. The prizes we're giving away this week on Rockbusters. We got for you David Attenborough's The Life of Mammals. I don't know, is this a new show? Is this on TV at the moment? Is this like a new thing? So that looks just like a double VHS thing there. We've also got a U2, the best of their 90s videos, even better than the real things on there. Mysterious Ways, Beautiful Day, Electrical Storm, the new one. Stuff on there, that's on the video. We've also got a couple of CDs, The Smashing Pumpkins. I think this is sort of alternative versions of a lot of their hits and stuff, live versions and stuff like this. Johnny Cash's current album, possibly his last. We don't know, because apparently he's not very well at the moment.
That's an album of covers.
Yeah, well, not all covers, some of his new stuff as well, but he's done covers of things like Personal Jesus by Depeche Mode, and Desperado, and Bridge Over Troubled Water. And the great thing about Cash is I read an amazing review where it says it's like he always makes them his own, do you know what I mean? It's like you can't even remember the old version.
Desperado by the Eagles?
By the Eagles, yeah.
I'd like to play that, just to hear that, because I haven't heard that. We'll play that and then give it away. These are actually good prizes, Carl.
Good prizes. We've also got, including a small, miniature three-wheel car, an Only Fools and Horses video. I think this is the special that was on Christmas TV last year. So if you're one of the people who didn't see it, I mean, wasn't it like 22 million people watching?
Ridiculous, yeah.
If you're one of the people who, you know, desperately wants to see it again, I know I do.
And wants a small yellow car.
Also wants a small yellow car. Then there it is. And also another of these compilations, arbitrary compilation albums, the best chill out album ever, Rick.
Sure.
If you're a fan of the Levi's Freedom ad,
I love the Levi's Freedom ad.
Then the track that
I hate the music to it though.
No. Well, that's a shame because it's included on here. Rick, how much do you love the Volvo TV advert?
Love it.
Because that
hate the music again though. Why?
That's a shame because that
is it?
track is
the
also
music.
on there.
Okay. Sure.
But there's also stuff on here. There's some interesting stuff. There's Pink Floyd. There's Coldplay. There's Roy Scott. So you know, it's probably worth it.
I love Pink Floyd. Except the music again. So it's a bit of a bind for me.
That's a whole heap of treats.
And that's the winner of Rockbusters.
That's the winner of Rockbusters.
Coming up after the adverts.
Okay.
Doves, Caught by the River on XFM 104.9. We're into the second hour now. This is when this award-winning show really kicks into gear.
When you say award-winning?
We haven't won them yet. I mean, we will win some.
Hang on, let me remind you. Wasn't there a bronze in the Sony Awards?
Oh yeah, we got a bronze. I don't go for bronze. It doesn't count. No, it doesn't count. It doesn't count. I'm Ricky Gervais, obviously, with me, Steve Merchant, and Karl Pilkington, which is what Heat write about, really. Karl's the main man. Think of Karl a year ago. He was just sitting in that room going, all right, I've done this. XFM. It's good, isn't it? Yeah, it's like a music bed. Brilliant. Comes on the show, we start taking the piss out of him. People start going, oh, who's the idiot you've got in? And we go, it's Karl. And they go, we like him, he's a fool. I go, yes, he's a fool, he's a pet buffoon. And they go, well, let him speak more, right? And they're going, don't let him talk, XFM, the fat cats.
Oh.
And I said, I'm a rebel and I do it my way.
Rick, can I ask, did you stick it to the man?
Yeah. And then MTV call up. Yeah, Heat are writing about him every week.
Yeah.
He's just been doing film for the BBC.
There's some rumours he might be the new James Bond.
Yeah. He's eating lovely McVitie's original digestives. Are we allowed to? Can I? If McVitie's are listening, I love these biscuits.
Yeah.
And he's got the best.
If the Spearmint Rhino strip clubs are listening, I'm a huge fan.
Right. And he's got Rockbusters to come.
Yes,
let's do it.
I should just ask, the few people who asked me this, and there's also an email here from Rich. People are saying they've seen some of the posters and the adverts of advertising the show, plugging the show. Why aren't you on the posters, Karl? And it is your choice, isn't it? We did ask Karl to be involved, but
he is actually. It's like, where's Waldo? He's actually.
Is he there?
He's in my trousers.
Karl, you don't like having your photo taken. No, you're not seeking the publicity.
No.
I reckon you are secretly. I don't believe you.
No, he's right. He's totally right. He's doing it just right. But I think there's a fine line to be drawn that, you know, if you like being in, you know, around radio, you want your own show, or you enjoy talking and they just happen to be filming you for MTV, that's different. I think what you just avoid is going to silly celebrity bashes, having your picture taken for the sake of it. I mean, I think you're right, but I think you should do the screen test. On a serious note, I think you should do the screen test, just because it might be fun, and if it's no good, they won't do it, and you can stop any time you want. No one has to keep going on telly.
I just think we're going to lose him.
No,
we won't lose him.
Listen, right, I'll always be part of this.
I'm just worried that you're going to exhaust yourself. You're going to be drained. You're going to have told all your anecdotes on MTV.
He certainly would have, if he has to help the old fella upstairs with the bed.
Yeah,
£50 an hour. Oh, that's terrible. Go on.
But what I wanted to do, right, because I don't want to embarrass myself, right? I don't want to embarrass the woman at MTV when I turn up and she thinks, oh, look at him.
Yeah.
What a waste of film this is going to be, because it's not cheap. I know that.
It's not film either, but go on.
Well,
it is cheap. It is cheap. They're filming on a DV camera that they can go over. If it's no good, they won't show it to anyone. It'll be great. It's just what they want you. Honestly, I can just see you doing little things, just like popping up, you know, between the records and going, all right. MTV, music, television, hear about the airy Chinese kid born, which is weird, isn't it? Because they're not usually airy. And it just goes, MTV. It'd be brilliant. It'd be brilliant, Karl. If I'll come down with you,
Well, we'll see.
Go on.
We'll think about it, right?
Go on. Right, Rockbusters.
So, Rockbusters, you know, it's a little clue, some initials, 3 different clues. You email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. You can win the load of stuff that we've got. So, first one, here's the clue. Stop throwing that fruit about.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's the initial?
That's CB.
CB.
CB. Stop throwing that fruit about.
Yeah.
Alright.
Is Anders listening? Has he emailed us in yet?
Anders, not had any response from Anders. I'll keep
I hope he
requesting
hasn't
that
stopped
then.
listening. Because he doesn't like the show. He's gone off. I hope he hasn't gone off the show.
So, the second one, that Scottish fella has made an error.
That Scottish fella has made an error.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that's M.
M.
Right, that Scottish fella has made an error. Right?
Okay.
And, the last one, God, you can make a right load of toast with them.
You can make a right load of toast with them.
Yeah.
Alright, what's the
And
initial there?
that's G.
Gee, I was thinking it might be bread for a minute, but no. Gee.
So just very quickly, stop throwing that fruit about, CB.
I've got the last one.
Right? Scottish fella.
doesn't work. It doesn't count. Doesn't count.
Well, that Scottish fella's made an error. That's M. And, God, you can make a right load of toast with M. That's G. Email in ricky.gervais@xm.co.uk and you can...
We've got the CDs, we've got horses, we've got mammals on VHS, we got U2, we got a couple of CDs including Johnny Cash. That's from his new album, which is a collection of new songs and covers, which is one of the prizes given away on this week's Rockbusters.
And can we have the clues and the answers and the winners?
Yeah. First one was stop throwing that fruit about.
Stop throwing that fruit about. The answer is...
CB. That was Chuck Berry.
Oh, of course it is.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give you that.
The one that you've worked out, I'll do next. The, God, you make a load of toast with them. That was G.
Gorillas.
Gorillas.
Gorillas, though, isn't it?
Gorillas. And the middle one was that Scottish fella's made an error. That was Mystique.
Mystique.
So,
Oh, did anyone get that?
Extraordinarily, almost all the people who emailed in...
I'm beginning to think it's us then,
It's
because I was thinking mistake, I was thinking muck error,
Yeah.
and muck mistake, but mistake.
yeah. So, do you want to pick a winner?
Yeah, I was going to give the prizes to Amy Massey, who's from Wiltshire, the West Country. Losers down there. Probably as weird as you.
Yeah.
I always remember this story when I was a kid about some bloke. He had throat cancer, right? And his doctor said, carry on with your life, right? It's not going to be that good, but just carry on. But don't eat meat. And he was like, oh, I love meat. He's like, yeah, but just don't, have your veg, keep yourself strong, but don't be eating that. Anyway, he was fed up because he loved his meat, and his wife was feeling a bit sorry for him one day, and thought, I'm sick of him looking fed up and that. All he wants is some meat, for God's sake, give him some meat. So she goes to the butcher's, gets him a big piece of, steak and what have you. He can't believe it. He's like, oh, brilliant, cheers for that. Anyway, he's got the meat on his plate, just about to tuck in, and the cancer comes out from his throat. What? No, it's something, I know, it sounds really weird, but it's something that I was told about years ago when I was growing up.
What are you talking about?
It was just some bad illness, some cancer thing, and it sort of, it was coming out waiting for the meat. It was sort of dying.
Again, a lot of your medical knowledge is from...
It's from the film Alien.
So this guy with throat cancer, okay, as opposed to it being a disease of the cell...
It was like a living...
The Alien. It was Alien.
So it was the animal. It was the little animal cancer.
That's why
What
he
are you
wasn't allowed to
talking
eat
about?
meat. He wasn't allowed to eat meat.
So it's sitting there. So it's actually sitting there in his throat. Why? I'll tell you what I'd have done if I'd have had some cancer in my throat. I'd go, there you go, rid of that. What are you talking about? So what happened?
He choked to death on this thing, and the wife was like, "Oh, I shouldn't have given him the meat after all." Just
That's
listen
a
to
bollock
your- listen
story.
to your doc- It's all. There's loads of weird stuff like that
There
that
is.
happens in medical stuff.
Well, the terrible thing is, if you got testicular cancer and you eat meat, your bollocks come out of your trousers, and they're all over the plate,
Yeah.
and you have to be asked to leave the restaurant.
Get straight into it. A band from the Conga have won the Best Newcomers in a Radio 3 competition. They use pots and pans for instruments. It says that the Conga is a poor, sad place. So why do people do that happy dance at the end of parties called the Conga?
Right. One is the Congo. There's no place called the Conga. They come from a place called the Congo. Conga! Get out, you're...
Met Suzanne at Euston Station. I said I would sort out the tea tonight, so I called the curry house. The fella couldn't understand me. I asked for 2 poppadoms. He kept saying, how many? I kept saying 2. He still couldn't understand. I said 1 more than 1. He understood. When we picked up the food and took it home, there were 5 poppadoms in the bag.
Oh, God! Oh, God.
There is a restaurant somewhere that sells knobs to eat.
No, there's not.
There is.
No, there's not.
No, there is.
It says that women can't eat too many of them, and if you want a seal's knob for dinner, you have to book in advance.
Right, it's gobbledygook. This is the ramblings of a madman again.
It's a trend, he writes. It won't last long. It'll be like hummus. Called Ricky and asked what the difference is between the mind and the brain.
Yeah, he did.
That's a hell of a phone call to get.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Ricky did explain, but I can't remember what he said. I wondered at what age you are when the mind kicks in. Okay? Ricky changed the subject and said there is an island called Spider Island. There's nothing but spiders on it. A bloke went to visit the island and said there was 1,000 types of spider in one tree.
What do you think about that? What do you think of an island that's just full of spiders?
I don't know, because you need spiders. I don't know what they do, but they say a world without spiders, like, wouldn't be good. But they sort of do something. There's something about if you did get rid of them all, it would have an effect.
Well, of course it would. Get rid of anything, it'd have an effect.
Not everything, though. Like I've said, you know, jellyfish and what have you.
Well, no.
It's 97% water or something.
Yeah.
So how much are they doing? Just give them another 3%, make them water. And that's more useful.
Give them another 3% and make them water. Oh, God.
Went into the gadget shop today. It's full of stuff that we don't need. Gadget used to be a good word that made you think of James Bond with all his gadgets. The best thing I could find in the shop was a clock that ran on potatoes. We are definitely going backwards.
I agree. Well, who cares about that? A little electrical impulse, so what?
Had a night out with old schoolmate. Found out about more of the other lads I went to school with. One is living underground.
What do you mean living underground? Not like a mole. Do you mean he's got a basement, or do you mean he digs a hole every night?
My mate went to visit him and he said it had been raining really heavily and that, and it's all the rain's running in.
What do you mean he went to visit him? He went down here? What's that? That's an hole in the ground. Yeah, come in.
He just said, oh, come round to us, and he's living underground.
What do you mean he's living underground?
He's happy down there. He said it was really muddy and what have you. He said he won't be going back to visit him.
I believe this, though. I believe someone he went to school with now lives in a hole. That doesn't shock me.
You spent far too long with him, if that, now you're just happy to accept.
I totally accept that. I'd be surprised if I walked round where he lived that there weren't more people living in holes. His dad wanted to throw his budgie on the fire.
True.
His budgie died, his dad said, let's throw it on the fire. I mean, his mum, what did your mum do?
She just was worried about the other bird that was left, so she made it a bit of company by getting a rock, getting a feather off the dead budgie, sticking it on the rock, putting it in the cage.
So, a man living in a hole
It's not
is
unusual.
not that bizarre. Right, carry on.
Watched a film about Hitler. Didn't watch all of it as it was subtitled. Can't be doing with that. Asked Suzanne if cinemas are full of deaf people when they're showing subtitled films. She said, shh, I'm trying to watch it. I said, what do you mean, shh? It's subtitled, I can make as much noise as I want.
Yeah.
She's a lucky, lucky woman.
You must be a joy to watch a subtitled film. I mean, the concentration is up there already. It's not as easy as when you're hearing it, because you read things, but it's possible. If you had a buffoon going, I'm just going to sit here and make as much noise as I want, what's the point of that?
Yeah.
Do that in a cinema. Just walk into a subtitled film and go, right, everybody, let's all do the Congo.
We're having our bathroom done. The bathroom man was round at 9 this morning. We weren't allowed to use the shower because it all had to be bone dry before we could use his waterproof filler. Not that waterproof then. Went for a brew with Ricky. We talked about monkeys and how they are closer to humans than they are to apes, and how bees will drink cider to get off their heads. Now and again there is a bee that lets the drinking get in the way of the work, and other bees sting it to death. Blimey.
Yeah, well, there are bees. They love a drink, and they will drink pure alcohol. They love getting off it, and they fall down and they're drunk, right? But some bees get addicted in the same sort of percentage as human addiction. Like 10% of bees, they can't get enough of it. They take ethanol, they take cider apples and that, and then when they get back to the hive, they go in a bit pissed, and they've got guard bees, and they go, come on, we've all had a drink.
Bouncers.
Yeah. They sort of are, right? And they push them away and push them away again. Then the next time they go, right, I've had enough. And they give it a good hiding. And Carl couldn't get over this. I saw his face. But I knew that he was thinking of that bee with sort of like eyes rolling around his head, a little bit belligerent with his jacket on backwards.
Yeah.
You know, and the bouncer going, come on, son, we've all had enough. Let's move away, move away.
You're not coming in, right? You're wearing trainers.
Yeah, you know, you're wearing 3 pairs of trainers, and I'm sick of it. You know.
But what I did find out, because I went home and went on the computer trying to find out about drunk bees knocking about, they're not actually meant to fly. It's only because they don't know. Fly. Well, no, but they're if they were told that you're not actually designed to fly, they wouldn't bother.
No, this is that thing that goes around that aerodynamically, on the face of it, looking at the size of the wings and the body proportions and everything, that it's a surprise that they can fly. Okay, it's not that. No one's ever told them they can't, and as soon as someone tells me not meant to fly, they all fall out of the sky going, "Oh, what are we doing?" Like in a cartoon.
No, but it's something about the confidence and that. At the moment, nobody's saying.
It's nothing to do with the confidence. There is no such thing as confidence in bees. A bee never loses its nerve. That's not why it drinks. Because what are you drinking for? I'm just not confident anymore. There's no point to turn to the bottle. I can't go up there again. You're an idiot. Here's an interesting fact. If the frog annoyed you, this might annoy you. A blind chameleon will still change colour to match its surroundings. You're aware that the chameleon can...
Yeah, whatever it sits on.
Yeah.
But then what happens when you put one of them on a mirror? No, does it get stressed out, or what? What's it copying?
Well, it probably doesn't need to copy anything, because it looks at itself and it goes, oh, looks like that. That's brilliant. God, that was fast. That's the fastest I've ever done that. That is brilliant.
So they can go any colour, there's nothing, you can put them on anything, and they'll go to the thing.
I don't want you to have a chameleon, because you'd just be trying to see what it could and couldn't do.
Try and catch it out.
Oh no, yeah.
Pop it on some tartan.
Yeah.
But again, say like the frog thing, right?
Pop it on the telly.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it fast enough.
Why does the chameleon need that skill of copying a colour? Because at the end of the day, that's mainly sticking in the woods, isn't it? By trees, by grass.
Right.
Why can't it just stay green? That's all it needs. Those colour changes are only for camouflage, aren't they?
I don't know. Some of them are for attraction. Some of them to show moods, anger.
No, but I just think we're encouraging them. You see, maybe this is evolution or whatever, but at the end of the day, because they can change colour, they're wandering out of their area. They can be wandering about, you know, through a car park and everything, just because they'll go, well, I don't want to get seen, change the colour of concrete. Whereas...
Or into the colour of a Fiat Punto.
But they should just stay green. Stay green, right? Stay in the woods and stay safe.
Dandy Warhols, get off on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais. With me, Steve Merchant.
Hello.
It's 2:05 on the day that Carl, our producer, found out that he had an E in history, GCSE, and nothing else because he didn't actually register. I can't believe he registered for that. I don't know.
I didn't. That's
Someone else put you in. They can't have put you in because you were away. They probably said, oh, you know, you didn't register in that. Listen, obviously you're feeling a little bit melancholy because it's, you know, it's like you're hearing it for the first time, so it's like you're 16 again. But it was to be expected. But
No,
listen, it doesn't matter. It actually doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
But listen. Take it again. For your just. Is there a history teacher listening? What's the number? 08700 800 123. They can tell us the syllabus this year. 1, 2, 3, 4, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, what is it?
08700.
And I've got maths. 08700 800 1234. Mine's more laziness that I couldn't be able to say that last digit.
Yeah.
Really. I've done most of the work.
If we get onto your problem, then we're going to it's a whole other show.
It doesn't matter really, because like you say, right, I've done alright for myself.
Yeah.
It's that whole thing of like, when you get older, if you find out that your dad's not your dad, it's like, it doesn't matter, he was a dad to me.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So...
Are you saying Mr. Nuttall wasn't your real teacher?
Give out the number again, Rick, what we have to?
08700 800 1234. Is there a history teacher out there that may know how we can... Is he too late to register this time?
What's the syllabus this year?
What's the syllabus this year? Do we have to pay for it? And does he want to earn, like, 25 quid cash in hand to give Carl a couple of lessons? I'll stump that up. Take it, yeah? Be great, be fantastic.
They probably won't want to do it though.
We'd
It's that
film
thing,
it,
isn't
it'd be a documentary on choice. Heat magazine would be right behind it. There'd be, you know, little clues, we could have a little question and answer, little quizzes. You know what I mean? Be
Rick,
great.
before we play the next record, I've just been looking through the XFM gig guide, and I just wanted to let you know that at Spitz this evening, Commercial Street E1, doors at 8 o'clock, Gut Bucket are playing. So, no, just a lot of listeners will probably want to know that. So I don't want anyone to miss out on the Gut Bucket gig at Spitz tonight, Commercial Street E1.
That's a good plug for the Gut Bucket boys.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage.
Now, Steve just played one of the most beautiful records. I mean, so I've got to up the ante here, and I'm gonna play another Jimmy Webb track. I played it off 10 Easy Pieces last week, and I have played this track before, but a different version. You'll know it, obviously better by Glenn Campbell. He wrote a lot of songs for Glenn Campbell, and this is Galveston, and this is absolutely beautiful. Jimmy Webb there, and Galveston. See, and during that, Carl said, "What's this about?" Didn't you? See, it's things you're interested in, you see? If only you're that inquisitive when the Tudors and Stuarts came up, you'd have a C or a
So we
B.
didn't even do Stuarts.
Didn't you?
It's just Tudors.
Oh, they're the worst, aren't they? Stuarts, I've got a lot of time for. The Tudors can, you know what I mean? Listen, right. As you know, I lent Carl, part of his education is historical education. I lent Carl Gladiator, the movie, on DVD, which he watched on his PlayStation 2, and Rasputin.
Do you know last week when you gave me this, did you know my result for history?
No.
That's weird, isn't it?
Yep. Now, right, okay, it's the film review. Carl, you just tell it from the heart, tell us what you thought about the film, what you thought the...
Can I just ask, is this the first time you'd seen Gladiator? You'd never seen it before?
No.
Okay. And what were your thoughts?
Okay. The film review. Gladiator.
It's alright. Nothing great. It's like an old, sort of an old version of Rocky done in the olden days, really.
Right.
A bloke fighting other people.
Sure.
How sort of well known is the story? Do you reckon people know the basics?
Well, just very quickly, just do the plot.
Quickly. There's a guy called Max.
Maximus, yeah.
Yeah. There's Caesar, and there's Caesar's kid, and Max goes to war, sort of wins it, comes back. Caesar says, "You're good at what you do. I wish my son was as good as you. So I want you to be in charge when I die." His kid finds out, bit annoyed about it, kills his dad, because he don't want anyone to hear that he said that he wants him to be in charge.
Yeah.
So his kid gets in charge and thinks, "I'll show you. You're not going to be king, I am. You're going to be a slave or something." And then, next thing you see is...
Sorry, can I just stop there? My only thought is the film's 3 hours long, so maybe we should go through the whole plot, right?
We've done the first 10 minutes. But go on. So, yeah, he's a slave and then...
Yeah, but then, that was an interesting bit that I thought, right? I mean, I was watching this with a girlfriend, she was already annoyed because she wanted to watch Friends on E4.
Okay. Yeah. It was a good episode as well this week.
Was it?
Yeah.
Don't tell her that.
Okay.
Right, so she was annoyed and she said, "Come on then, put it on." And I got it wrong straight away because it says on the back 149, so I thought that was an hour and 49 minutes. It turned out it was 149. No, I thought it was 1 hour 49.
Yeah.
But it was 149 minutes.
Sure.
So it overran anyway.
By 40 minutes.
Yeah. So anyway, the interesting bit was where he was going across the desert on a horse. And I think to show you how long he'd been going across the desert on his horse, he's showing you a shot of the horse's knees and they were bleeding. And I just wondered whether that's what horses do if they run for a long time. Do you know?
I don't. Good.
Right, so anyway, so it goes on, it keeps going on like this. He's a slave, and then he has a fight at the end with the Caesar's kid, and he kills him. And that's how it ended.
Okay, good. What did you think of it? Just generally, what bits... What do you think was wrong with it?
Right, well, I've read up on it, and there's already a fact that is wrong.
Right.
Caesar's kid, he didn't actually kill his dad. His dad died of a natural death.
Right, in real life, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
And, what's Caesar's kid's name? Comedian or something?
I think it's comedian, yeah.
Yeah.
That's where the name comes from. When a funny person is called a comedian.
He didn't actually get killed in real life by Max.
No.
He died by his sister poisoning him, and And he didn't no.
Are you saying that this is not a historical document?
It's wrong.
All over the place.
Yeah.
Well, in terms of...
Well, next week I'm giving you Braveheart, and that is actually true. That is factually accurate.
I can't handle
it. It is. It was a little Australian fella that helped him out.
Just for people who watched it, they know that the guy, Caesar's kid,
yeah,
he died. His sister tried to poison him. That didn't work. Apparently, he was a gay fella, and his boyfriend, who was a wrestler, strangled him. That's
well, where did you get this information?
On the internet. I thought I'd look it up to see how much of it I actually got right.
Yes.
And that's what I read.
Okay, so out of 10?
5.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's no good. I wouldn't get it out. It's annoying the way it says, like, you know, this film's got to be seen at the cinema, because I saw it at home, and I don't think I missed out on anything.
Very good point. I think that's probably the point they're making, but yours is valid too. We'll play a record, and after that I'm going to ask you about Rasputin, the Mad Monk. Travis and Sing. I like that. That's all right. It's a bit easy. It's not their best. I like their earlier stuff a little bit better, you know. But what I don't like is them throwing around mollusks. I don't like it when that poor little octopus gets flung around. I know it's dead, but there's a certain lack of respect for the
whole mollusk community.
For the squid and octopi fraternity.
Like I said to you, when I used to go to Wales for my holidays, they used to get washed up on the beach, and people used to go over them on the motorbikes. And they were cheering and stuff, and it's just like, do you realise what you're doing?
Yeah, sick, isn't it?
But anyway, Gladiator, just was going to add on the end of that. If you're into that sort of film, Jason and the Argonauts is probably a better bet.
Is that factually accurate?
Did you look that up or not? Did skeletons actually come out of the ground and fight?
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's a more enjoyable film.
Okay.
And it's shorter.